All right, I'm here with Reese Hales, a very special guest on this podcast, and I've got a really hard-pressing question to ask you today. What do you think about the urban growth boundary and its current effects on inflation in the real estate market? Yeah, I think that's really insightful. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with that. Thank you so much, and we'll bring Reese back on for our expert analysis of the current real estate market. What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Tim Talks, the real estate show where we talk about real estate, life, and a little bit of everything else. Let's roll the intro music. Welcome back to another episode. I am here with a very special guest and my boss and my principal broker. And new mother.
No pressure.
Yeah. Emily Hales from Coldwell Banker Professional Group is here with me today. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I wanted to bring you on the show today because you work with a lot of new agents. And on this show, a lot of what we do is try to give tips and tricks to new agents that might be listening to this. I know we have a few folks who are interested in getting into real estate, as well as brand new agents themselves listening to this show. So I wanted to ask you some questions about good things for new agents to be doing, things for new agents to avoid, and some things that really annoy you about new agents as well. So I think it was like about 1 billion new agents during COVID is kind of what happened. And now we're kind of dealing with the effects of that.
Yeah. I think a lot of them will actually get out of the business just because they watch Selling Sunset during COVID and they're like, this looks nice. I'm going to do that.
Yep. That's exactly it. For a point of reference, my girlfriend actually watched Selling Sunset. And then when I met her a couple of years ago, that's when she was like, I'm going to become a real estate agent. And I was like, that's awesome.
I want to wear stilettos.
Yeah. And then I got to know her. I was like,
Babe,
don't take this the wrong way, but you'd make a horrible real estate agent.
Don't do it. Just go wear stilettos on the sidewalk. It's fine.
Yeah. Let's talk about some new agent things. You are not a new agent. You're 7 years in the business?
Yeah, 7 years.
7 years in the business. But you were kind of at that phase where you can still remember what it was like to be a new agent.
Definitely.
Not like those...
Still in my 20s.
Hey, there we go. Not like those agents that are like 30 years in the business. And they're like, back when we were doing this thing at the beginning, we had a pigeon carry the offer over. Yeah. So what do you think is like the hardest barrier to get over for a young agent to succeed in today's real estate market?
The biggest barrier? Oh boy. I think a lot of them just, sounds mean, don't have the work ethic. I think a lot of them grew up just kind of getting through life with their mom and dad taking care of them, and none of them want to show up and do the job. Everyone thinks when you get into real estate, you have a flexible schedule. And you do not have a flexible schedule. No. You work all the time instead of, your 9 to 5 where you have a boss telling you to show up. You have to show up for yourself all the time. Don't take those 2 a.m. phone calls. They never end well. They're bad phone calls. Set your boundaries. But I just think a lot of new agents just need to know you just got to keep showing up and doing the work.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head. It is kind of funny because I even see experienced agents out there talking about how what they love about real estate is the work-life balance. And I'm sitting there going, what in the world are you talking about? I was at a Blazer game the other night and I took a phone call and I'm like in the 300 levels with like all the drunk people. Yeah. And they're like, I'm like, I'm at a Blazer game right now. Can I call you in the morning, please?
Yeah. Boundaries are important. I always tell people to set boundaries. But when you're new and you're trying to get that hustle, you're like, I'll do anything.
Yes.
I answered 2 a.m. phone calls. I call her Crazy Kathy. I know Crazy Kathy won't be watching this because I don't think she has a cell phone anymore. But it was like an awful phone call. She's like, never fall in love. Don't have a relationship. Boys suck. And I'm like, great, Kathy. So we close next week. I will see you then.
And it's 2 a.m.
Yeah. Drugs are bad, friends.
Yep. I mean, it's actually, it's kind of interesting because as a new agent, you will take any phone call that comes your way. But another difficult hurdle for me to get over was at a certain point realizing that even though I'll take anything, I mean, I had batshit. right?
We all have names.
so but at a certain point, I realized that I should take everything in this business, but taking her calls was actually taking away from my business,
Yeah.
right? It wasn't like, oh, I have this extra spare time, so I should take this call because, it might turn into a sale. It was at a certain point realizing that her calls are actually detrimental to the rest of my business.
Yeah.
So I think that was another interesting thing to learn as a new agent was that, yes, boundaries are definitely important. And yes, you need to take pretty much every call that comes your way if you
But
can.
trust your gut.
But
Trust your gut.
Yeah.
And don't waste time on those who want to waste your time, because time is money. And it's time that could be spent doing a ton of other things.
Absolutely. I heard something the other day, and I think it's really true. They said only spend time on money-making activities.
Yeah.
What are some of those money-making activities? Because you can look at something and go, oh, everything I do in my day is a money-making activity. Well, no, it's not, right? I'll give the first example, and then you can carry it from there. But
Okay.
Hiring a transaction coordinator, because doing paperwork is not a money-making activity for me.
No.
So what are some money-making activities?
Calls, making your calls, making sure you're doing that. Your social media, I mean, a lot, and that's like what sets you apart really is, that's so important, and we can preach it all we want to all these people, all these agents, but no one wants to take the time to do it. They're like, oh, I'll do it. I'm so bad at social media. Like, I don't take the time to do it. So that's, that's good. Sending your mailers, getting pop buys ready. But honestly, hire someone to do that. Hire like a 5-year-old to stuff candy in a bag. $5
true.
goes a long ways.
It takes me like 4 hours to get my mailers
don't
ready.
do them.
It's tough.
Pay a small child.
Yeah,
Reese-
that's actually a really good idea.
Reese will stuff your candy for you. I really think it's just a lot of phone calls. I think doing your phone calls, farming. I have a whole list, 101 things. You guys should have warned me. I would have brought my list.
Of things to do for lead generation?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually want to see that list. I'd love to see that
Yeah.
list.
I think just getting out there and meeting people is
Yeah.
really big. And I actually think that's something I've seen with newer agents or the younger generation. I say that like I'm 29, but is they don't want to have conversations with people. They don't want to talk to people. They just think that it's going to be land in their lap.
I think you're definitely touching on an important piece that our generation, if you want to call it our generation, is dealing with, and that is the fear of confrontation. And a lot of times when you say confrontation, you think, like an argument or a fight. But when I say confrontation, I mean just confronting someone about anything, right? Going up to someone and starting a conversation about real estate, making a cold call, sending a cold call message over, a DM or something.
Yeah.
They're afraid of that confrontation because they're afraid of a no.
Their fear of rejection.
Right.
Yeah. And I always tell new agents, I call it word vomit. And I said, just always find a way to say real estate. Like, I don't even care what you're doing. I was in the grocery line and this lady behind me is like, oh, cute baby. I'm like, yeah, thanks. We just got done showing a house because we're in real estate. Like, just mention it. But yeah, people are scared of that rejection.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's natural. But I've found that I actually have started to kind of enjoy hearing a no. It's in a weird kind of sick way.
Yeah.
I enjoy hearing the no because it goes, all right, brush it off.
At least I
On to
did
the
it.
next-
It's
yeah,
done. Check,
on to the
check.
next one.
Cross it off.
I will not sit back and regret and say maybe, oh, what if I just asked this person,
Yeah.
What if I had only asked them if they were interested, stuff like
I
that.
always tell people to call until they tell you to F off.
Yeah, that's a great line.
Yeah.
Call
Just
until
keep
they
calling.
tell you
And
to
when
F
they say fuck off, then you can stop.
I love that. That's great. We got to put that on a t-shirt. No, I think that's, absolutely. The lead generation piece is really huge. And I don't think that people spend enough time on that. They say, I don't have any deals. Where am I going to get my deals?
Yeah.
You just have to work harder.
Just got to get out there. Just got to make conversation. It's even social events, going out, but I don't know.
Yeah.
People just don't want to work.
Yeah. As a young agent, as yourself, as a young agent, when you just started in this business, and now obviously you're a principal broker, a managing broker, you've kind of made it up to a higher level of real
Stay
estate.
selling, folks. It's not great.
Yeah. So, but you have made it to that next tier. So what were some of your keys or secrets to success as a young agent that really clicked for you? Just a few like tangible things that really worked for you.
Yeah, I kind of hate the saying fake it till you make it, but I did. I never told anyone I was new. And they're like, oh, you look really young. I'm like, yeah, well, thanks. It's the Botox. And I always said, even if I didn't, I always said, I have a really great team of people who have been in the business for 20 years working with me on this. And so they're like, oh, that's great. There's more people helping you. Like I have more agents on my team. Did they ever talk to these imaginary people? No.
Yeah.
But that always worked for me. That made them feel confident that I think I was 22. This 22-year-old girl can do the biggest transaction of their life.
Yeah. That's really tough for some people to get past.
Yeah. I mean, would you rather have a young kid doing it or freaking Sally Sue with 80s hair and an old headshot?
Right, exactly. One thing that I have worked on is explaining two things. A, just like you said, I have this team behind me. And it's not a lie. We do have a team behind us. Most of the time, they don't have to step in because we do our job.
Right.
And I'm sure you really, for the most part, probably didn't have to bring in that imaginary team of people into things because you just had it under control. If you're a good agent and you're dedicated, it's not that difficult to actually do the transaction.
Yeah, it's all communication, really.
Exactly. And just staying on top of things and being organized. The second thing that I have always argued towards people who said, oh, you're kind of young is you're absolutely right. I'm young. And guess what? I'm hungry and I need it. Okay.
I love that. I used to say that too. I have that flame.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I need to make money and I'll do anything.
Yeah.
Energetic. Young people have energy. We stay up till 2 a.m. taking those phone calls.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't call us at 2 a.m., please.
Please do not.
Don't do that.
I will be asleep.
He'll probably answer.
But I'll still answer. I answered a call at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Yesterday, actually.
Who wakes up and is like, you know what? Yeah, 5 a.m. pot of coffee. I think I'm going to call my real estate agent.
It's time.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually funny it wasn't a butt dial, but one of my clients has 3 small children who picked up her phone and called me. And so I'm like, I literally just like got in the car to go to the gym and I'm getting a call. I'm like on my watch. I'm like, hello. What could possibly be wrong at 5:15 in the morning? And I just get this like little kid going, da, 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 da.
Can you make a cereal, Tim?
Yeah, I'm like, I think this was and then like 10 minutes later, I got a text. I'm so sorry. That was my kid.
That's so funny. At least you were up going to the gym.
Yeah. I thought, I was like, you know what? I'm a good agent for answering that call
seriously.
at that time. But yeah, I think that was a huge, so far it's been a huge thing for me is just saying, yeah, the 30-year agent, sure, maybe they've got more experience and maybe that's helpful. But at the same time, they don't need it. I do. And so I'll do things that they won't do to get this to where you want it to go.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed with and this might roll into your next question, like more established, I'll say established instead of older, is they don't answer their phones. They're like, I'm good. I'll send an email that I'm going to use my typewriter for later.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, crazy lady, I need this answer now. You need to answer your phone. I mean, I've had that happen for showings. Like I'll call this agent and I'll be like, I need to show your house. They don't answer. They don't call me back. They don't answer their texts. They don't email back. They don't do anything. And like, it's so frustrating when you're trying to do the best job for your clients and you're working with an agent who just won't respond. And I've never really experienced that with a younger agent or a newer agent. They're like, yes, ma'am, we want to get this done. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so true. That's probably the biggest, like one of the biggest younger versus experienced agents is you can kind of tell that the fire has gone out a little bit. And that's understandable. You've been in the business for a long time and
you want to retire. You want to be done.
Yeah, you want to be done. But real estate moves so quickly. And people think that, because you have 30 days to close a deal, that it's, you have plenty of time. Absolutely not. I thought that my first maybe 2 transactions, I was like, I have so much time, right? 30 days? No, it goes by so quickly. And if you don't answer that phone call, if you don't respond to that email immediately, it could be the difference between the deal going through or not going through. I mean, we dealt with that last week. I mean, couldn't get a hold of an agent for 3 days.
Yeah, he was hunting.
He was hunting.
Hunting season.
But he didn't let us know that he was hunting.
It was so frustrating.
He's the agent on the selling side. I'm the agent on the buying side. We've got deadlines.
Yeah.
And in real estate, deadlines matter. And if you don't hit that deadline, the deal's
Just honestly makes me tear up a little when people don't respond to my emails. I took time to send those 7 emails. Like, please respond to one. Like, does this email work?
Yeah.
Do I have the right email?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sometimes people put the wrong email on their forms. When you mentioned like going to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, like that's also really important. I had an agent send me a screenshot of their calendar last night, and I was like, oh my gosh, you really time block. Like, it's like 1 to 2, call this, 2 to 2:30 signing, 3 to 4 gym sesh. And I'm like, that's awesome that you do that. I mean, I wish I was that organized. That was like kind of like, now it's on my list to do.
Yeah.
My to-do list, to make a to-do list,
Yeah.
to put in my calendar. But like, it's so important to take that time for yourself.
Yeah. And that in real estate, if you're able to do that, that is amazing. Because the one thing that I learned, I'll be honest with you, I tried to make a schedule. That was one of the things that a principal broker at my old brokerage told me to do, is make a schedule and block out everything. And that is something that I really have to work on.
I think you do it without knowing that you do it though. Because you stay late and you do, like, you have time carved out for your social media.
I make sure I get it done.
Yeah.
But when I do it,
Yeah.
could be any time. And so I think that's the important piece, is that I do get it done. I would like to have a better schedule. The problem is with real estate, it is all over the place. I think for new agents listening, you're going to have to be ready to, as Emily mentioned before, you're all over the place.
Yeah.
You could at any second get a phone call and it's like, well, I was just going to go spend the evening with my girlfriend, but instead I'm going to have to drive to Portland.
Your
and I
poor
don't.
girlfriend.
Yeah, I know. She's good to me, but
I take mine with me.
actually, she has gone with me before. In fact, this is actually crazy. We were going on a date. This was with Beck.
Yeah. Oh, I remember this story.
Yeah,
Poor
she was
girl sat
in
in
the-
the car.
My girlfriend sat in the car for an hour at this showing while this buyer went back and forth, and it was a 800 square foot apartment.
Just be like, this is my girlfriend. She's a contractor. She's just here to look for any issues. Take her inside next time.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, rookie mistake. Mistake.
Honestly, dating a real estate agent,
Yeah.
just don't. But if you do, find someone as a real estate agent. You gotta find someone that just is like chill and like just will go with the flow. Like my husband, he's very quiet and he just follows around. What is he like?
We love Spencer.
Yeah, he's like the golden retriever.
yeah. All right, what next?
Yeah, he's like, what do you need?
That's awesome. So actually, another good point is it will affect your personal relationships.
Yes, it does.
And like you said, find somebody that's going to be kind of just okay going with the flow. Certainly, that's been a struggle for me in my relationship. The expectations were not clear at the beginning. Kind of on me, kind of on the fact that I had no idea what I was getting into.
Yeah.
But we've done a really good job adjusting. One thing that we do is once a week, we don't miss it. We call it, her name is Andrea. We call her Dre. We call it Dre Day. It's like her day,
That's so cute.
her evening. And it doesn't matter what's going on. I will not answer my phone. I don't care if I lose a deal over it. I will not answer my phone that evening because it's our evening to go out and do something.
It's important.
And that day will change sometimes. Like we try to make it Friday, but sometimes I have a showing on Friday. So I will say, hey, instead of Friday, let's do Saturday. And we get flexible, but we are intentional. We block that time for, hey, we are going to go on a date and we're going to do this.
I think a lot of things in real estate, you have to be intentional.
Yes.
Like all day, every day. And that's like, goes back to money making activities. Like it's intentional activities, like making your cold calls, doing your TikToks. You have to be very intentional.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And super disciplined about it as well. It's easy to let things go because you got busy.
Yeah.
And
that goes back to that screenshot I got. And she's like, and this is one of our top producers. I mean, this girl will close probably 120 deals this year. And she's only 3 years in the business. Tim, this is your future. This is you.
Please, God.
But she works hard. I mean, she still door knocks. But she says, if I don't get something done on this calendar list, I move it to the next day. And I make sure I get it done.
Yeah.
She's like, might make for a crappy Friday, but if I, got lazy on Thursday, I have to get it done.
Yeah. That's huge. That's huge because it's the lifeblood of your business.
Yeah.
That consistency. I think that's, consistency. And people, I think one of the reasons why people don't make it in this business is because they started doing something and then they started getting patchy doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just didn't see the results because they were being patchy about it. They didn't fully commit themselves to
Yeah,
it.
they hyper focus on one thing. I've seen this before. They hyper focus on events, and that's all that they focus on. And I'm like, well, have you called your clients? Have you checked in with these people? Well, no, I was doing a photo booth. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice photo booth.
While you're at the photo booth, make your call.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
Yeah. No, that's so true. It's so true. Yeah. All right. Now for kind of a fun question. So if you're a new agent, one of the things that I really have tried to work on really hard as a new agent is making sure that you don't do things that are kind of outside the boundaries of what an agent does. And I don't mean like breaking the rules or breaking the law. Like obviously,
A lot of gray areas.
yeah, there's a lot of gray areas there, but I'm talking like unwritten rules of being an agent. What is the most frustrating thing that you see a new agent do that you just want to wring them by their neck when they do this?
A new agent?
Mm-hmm. And then tell us what your agent in general is.
Okay. Well, what I've seen recently is just them not showing up. Like they make an appointment and they're like, I don't really want to. So, and then they just don't show up.
That
How
goes
are you going to
back-
make money if you don't show up?
That goes exactly back to what you were saying in the
Crazies.
beginning.
That doesn't work. Don't try that one.
Yeah. The thought of that gives me anxiety. Not showing up to an appointment gives me anxiety.
Seriously. I think a lot of it is also just goes back to that hyper focusing, or they watch Selling Sunset and they're like, all I have to do is put my hair in a slicked up bun and go to the office and sit at my desk and wait for the phone to ring.
Yeah.
Like, no,
It
it's
don't work
not how
way.
that one works.
No.
I don't know whose phone just rings like that, but I want that magic.
Yes, please. I would like to have that version of the iPhone, please.
Yeah. Is that an upgrade?
Yeah.
Is that the
iPhone
17 point?
15.
Yeah. What is that?
Woo! Boy, that will sell fast.
Probably an Android.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a pretty good one. I think my most frustrating new agent thing is really along the same lines, expecting that it will be easier than it will be.
Yeah.
I will just tell you right now to the people listening out there, and do not let this scare you. I think you'll agree with me. Do not let this scare you. It's totally easy to overcome. But like my first few months of real estate, I probably doubted whether or not I could actually make this work. I probably doubted whether or not I could make this work probably 5 times a day. Like I would like have not.
Scary.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It wasn't like a panic attack, but I'd be like, I don't know how, like, this is not going to work. There's no one here. I like the marketing that I'm doing, and it takes a while to get that going. So be patient. But
Yeah.
for me, it was just like, I thought it was going to be easier than it was. I was guilty of that. So
I think we all do. I think we all watch like people around us be successful. Like my uncle's a really successful real estate agent, and that's initially why I got licensed. And I was like, he makes so much money. This is so easy. Oh my god.
yeah.
And no, it wasn't easy. And I had to show up to the office and I had to make those calls and I had to, like, I got yelled at tons of times for not doing it. I was not a great new agent. I was like, got a deal under escrow that's sick. Like, whatever, I'm chilling. I'm gonna go to the bar. Like, I'm fine. I'm gonna get a paycheck. And then I'm like, oh shit. I need another one. What do I do?
Oh God, where's the next one coming from?
Yeah.
Same way. I would get the deal in escrow and be like, I did it. Now when I get a deal in escrow, I go,
what's next? Got to
where's
get
my next
3
one?
more. Yeah.
I get nervous once I get one into escrow because I'm like, well, there goes that client. I
Yeah.
need another one. So, it's like you celebrate closing a deal, but
It's also like kind of sad. You're like,
you're like, shoot, I gotta go to work again.
Yeah.
I got that paycheck, but now where's the next one?
Yeah.
So, okay, awesome. I think that's good for the most frustrating new agent thing. What is and you could probably go on for hours about this. What is your most frustrating real estate agent? Just, oh God, it's your pet peeve. Just really gets you.
oh my God. Okay. Really just them. I'm like, it could be their paperwork.
Yeah.
I mean, you would be so surprised by like the paperwork that I see come across my desk. I'm like, who did you have your 5-year-old fill this out? Like they just checked random boxes and then they just didn't fill out their names or anything. Or I'm like, what? Or, they're their close dates are always pretty funny.
Yeah, like on a Saturday or something.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
a Sunday, but
Guilty. We just dealt with that on mine.
Tim is closing on Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Honestly,
so embarrassing.
though, it was a Thursday, and
Yeah.
I didn't really know when Thanksgiving was either. And I think I knew that, but I was like, I'm gonna wait for someone else to figure this
Someone
out.
else to say something.
It's fine.
And then I saw that.
I
I'm like,
mean,
so stupid.
really though, like that close date, it's just like that is the end of the close date. You can close before that.
Yeah.
It's written in the contract.
Yeah.
But
On
and
or
then
before.
communication, a lot of communication fails.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a really defensive agent like send like some threatening email over nothing, by the way, and we're just like, are you threatening us? He's like, I didn't like the way your team emailed me back, and I like went back and looked at the email, and I was like, this is like a 1-sentence line. Hey, we haven't received it. I'm like, geez, guys, calm down. Like,
You can't get your feelings hurt.
put a smiley face on it next time or
Yeah,
something. This
yeah.
guy is coming for us.
Which I think is funny that they would say that is because every time that I read your emails, I'm like, oh my God, she sounds so bubbly and like joyful about
I
this.
use italic lettering.
And then I look over in the corner and she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will look over and you'll just be like,
Send the disclosures. Send the disclosures.
and in the email, it's like, thank you so much. Send the disclosure. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, another good thing to point out is you cannot get emotional and you cannot get you can't get your feelings hurt over something.
No.
You just have to kind of move forward. You're going to have really good agents, really good bad agents, really good clients, really bad clients. And
Just life.
it's just part of the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I showed my husband's sister a house yesterday, and she's like, I'm kind of an a-hole. I don't want you to get mad at me. I'm picky. And I was like, first of all, I deal with a-holes all day long.
Yeah.
And you probably would have to kill someone to make me mad because I've dealt with all sorts of crazy. So, yeah, just go into it just knowing that everyone's stressed out.
Yeah.
Everyone's worried.
Yeah.
Everyone doesn't know what they're doing. They're
And
like,
it's normal.
I'm going to have a 7% interest rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Yeah, we're dealing with something that is a basic human necessity and
Yeah.
basic human right, but it's also one of the most difficult things to deal with. So,
And you become the therapist.
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. The child has said it is time to end things.
Hey, this thing on?
Yeah, feed. We need to feed ourselves, okay? That is
It's important.
yes. That is the sound of I am hungry. So
That's a hungry cry.
I feel the same way. I'm just not voicing it that way.
Feel free. You can. Tim's gonna cry after we stop rolling.
Yeah. Have emotions. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Emily, for
Thanks
being
for
on the
having
show.
us.
And Reese as well for her expert market analysis. We'll just bring her on all the time. I think that's just a good plan. So, all right, guys, we'll be back in just a moment for Ashley's Corner. What's up, guys? Welcome back. We are here with Ashley's Corner. We had a very successful guest on the show today with Emily and Reese. I think Reese is the star of the show.
I think so too.
She kind of just hangs out in our office. I've never really understood the point of babies, but as far as they go, she's pretty cool.
She's one of the most she's pretty cool.
You just let that go. I've never understood the point of babies. You're like,
Well, I wasn't gonna judge. Like, I know not everybody's like I want to have kids.
do
you
babies
know?
scare you?
No,
They scare me.
I used to work at a daycare.
Ah,
I had 10 3-year-olds to myself in the classroom. so-
wow. Well, that's not really babies. That's more of like toddlers.
But when it came to like the whole like needing to go to the bathroom situation,
Sure.
I had the whole thing. Some were in diapers, some were in potty training, some were in
sure, just all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like our dog situation in here right now. For those
Yeah.
those of you that don't know, there's about 3 dogs.
My tip for you all dog owners, make sure that you take your dog to go potty.
Amen. And if you don't, then hire a good carpet cleaner.
Or a dog walker.
Yeah,
That's
something
where
like
I was
that.
thinking.
Yeah, that's simple enough. Yeah, no, I think it's less about the activities that the baby does, rather it's more the soul searching stare that they give you. It's like if you lock eyes with a baby, it's probably one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen, because it's like their eyes are little lasers and they just see through the
Oh, yeah.
darkest part of your soul. They see it.
Oh my gosh, I love when Reese, like, sometimes, like, someone will hold her and she's just giving her, like, this look, like,
Like, I
Who are
know
you?
you, and you're a bad person.
I love the look she gives and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, yeah, that person is a bad person. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Interesting. You just got our take on babies. Anyway, but no, she was good. She had some good market analysis for us. Apparently, she's been studying for her real estate license pretty heavily since she came out the womb about 4
I was
weeks
going
ago.
to say, I feel like Emily was teaching her while she was in there.
Yeah. She's like, disclosures. That's funny. When Emily was in the delivery room, that's what they call it, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know anything about babies, anything about that. It's really funny. I think our owner had to tell her to get off her phone because she was still texting agents.
Yep.
She's like in labor. She's like about to have a baby. And
She's like, what's up?
and she's like, yeah, the lockbox code is 3497. I'm like, sweet. I mean, hey, I ain't gonna complain.
Yeah, I
Hey, if you're willing to do that while you're having a baby, hey,
Mm-hmm.
go for it. That's just kind of like the realtor mindset, though. It just never
Well,
really
it's just
stops.
the same thing, like, when the day before her wedding, she's, in her rehearsal, and then all of a sudden she's on the phone with an agent while she's practicing walking down the
Are
aisle
you
with her
serious?
No, there's a photo on her
Oh
Facebook, and
my
I'm like,
God.
she is a working queen.
That's so funny because my girlfriend likes to tell me that, and she noticed that she likes to say when we're getting married, right? There ain't no ring on her finger yet. Just kidding. But she likes to say when we're getting married that like I would probably like on my wedding day I'd probably take a call like during the ceremony or like during the reception and
Right in
and
the middle of
depending
vows,
on I swear to hold on a second. I got a phone call. I honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys right now, and she doesn't watch this show, so that's okay. Depending on what point of the ceremony, well, not ceremony, okay. I'll keep the phone off during the ceremony, but during the reception, it depends on what point we are at during the reception.
Oh,
I might take a phone call.
no.
Ashley's cringing so bad right now. Yeah, it's terrible. I'm sure I'll get over that, but yeah.
I'd say for my wedding day, I know I'm going to probably be drinking, so I'd hate to make
Yeah.
a phone call
Hi.
to somebody. Hi.
Yeah. We'll probably have to. I think it would be a good idea is for your wedding, just put all the phones in a bin.
Tim, put up.
Tim, give a phone. You see me like in the back chairs, like, yes, okay, yeah, sorry. Fire on that offer. Fire on the offer. No, I promise you I will not take any calls at your wedding.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. We got some fun stuff from Ashley today.
Yes.
Just real quick, because we just talked about on Emily's segment, we talked about the must-dos, the must-haves for a young agent. Let's go, and social media was one of them. Let's go with the 3 awesome social media ideas for the fall/winter.
Okay. So definitely during this, what I would call more the holiday times, definitely coming up with more holiday themed social media posts is really good. Now is the time to be doing your giveaways. So if you want to do like some type of giveaway, now's the time to do it. It's a season of giving. So I would recommend doing that. Posting more videos. A lot more people are on their phones nowadays because they're searching for that holiday gift, or they're on Amazon or whatever. And so a lot more people are on their phone. And when you're using some type of visual, whether it be on Facebook or Instagram, where you're moving, it's more eye-catching instead of me wanting to just scroll like, oh, yeah, it's just Tim. So definitely, but definitely making more reels. And as the holidays come on, there's going to be holiday trends that you can pop in on. Another idea for both social media and just marketing in general is giving back to the community. So community involvement, whether that be like you're going out and you're collecting canned foods maybe for your community, or you're just promoting some type of local activity. Those are potential networking opportunities right there. So get involved in those. Take photos. If you're taking a photo of you maybe helping out with a pop can drive, I don't know. Just letting people know that you are part of the community.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think I shamelessly did that with my Halloween post. I was like, you know what? I hated being out here.
Actually, I need those photos.
Yeah, but actually, some of the photos right now so people know that I'm a positive member of the community and I do my civic duty.
And I will wear an Iron Man suit.
And sit outside in the rain for 2 hours to make some deals. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, he was watching the game.
I was watching a football game. But I also did hand out candy to a lot of kids. So I did my job. Okay, awesome. That's great. Thank you for those helpful tips. Use those tips. Actually do it. Put the work in. Budget time for it. Get it done. Don't slack on it. Don't let another holiday season go by. Another fall/winter season where there's so many opportunities for good posting. Don't let it go by and then go, okay, next year. Yeah. Do it this year. Okay, good stuff. Any last thoughts before we take our leave for the day? We talked about some good stuff. Babies, weddings. Yeah.
One more thing about weddings is, so right now at Grocery Outlet, they're having this wine sale. We bought 6 cases of wine.
Damn.
Because now's the wine sale, so you want to get at the best
How
deal,
many?
right?
Is that 6 times 12?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
And they're roughly like $4.99 a bottle. So I think Larissa said
That's
that
12 times 6.
she spent $300 on wine champagne. So
For the wedding.
yes.
Wow.
No, this isn't just like a
just because you guys are alcoholics. That was for this weekend, Tim. Just for the 2 of us.
No.
How many people are going to be at your wedding?
So I am inviting about 120 people. So I'm assuming maybe like 80, 90 people actually show up. Maybe.
Okay. That's kind of a small wedding. Small size.
Yeah. I don't know.
Does it not seem like a smaller wedding?
No, I mean, I feel like a small wedding is like 50 people or less.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
100 seems to be the average.
Oh, is it really?
Yes, 100 people is usually average, but I'm having this at my family's property, so I'm trying to like think of parking and where are we putting people and that kind of thing. So I'm like, 120. I'm like, I think it will work. Everybody just carpool.
Dang, I guess 100 people is a lot of people. I don't know. I'm like, my perspective is completely skewed because I used to work at the Oregon Golf Club for their do their weddings and stuff, and they have like 300 people weddings.
Oh wow!
And so
you're like, oh, that's just an average wedding here.
That's a normal number. $75,000 wedding with 300 people. You know,
I want to
it's
see how
just
many
normal.
people go to your wedding.
God, we're gonna have to turn people away. There's gonna be a lot of people that want to go that I do not want there.
We're selling raffle tickets to Tim's wedding.
Today, like, follow, and share for an invite to Tim's wedding. Oh my God, that'd be funny. You're doing it at your parents' property? Mm-hmm. Dre and I were actually talking about ours. We're gonna do ours at our parents' property.
It's save money.
Our parents. We're not siblings.
You nasty.
Oh my God. Sweet home Alabama. Oh my God. At my parents' house, we will be having it at I think it's a great idea. We have 10 acres.
Yeah.
So, and just like an open field.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so my parents, same. They have like, I think 18 acres. And was like, why not use that? Save money so I can put it towards the beverages and the honeymoon. It just costs so much money.
The honeymoon.
Yes.
I've always loved the idea of like spend less, do a smaller wedding, and then just live lavishly on the honeymoon.
See, I think Larissa's the same way, but I'm just like, I want it all.
And the honeymoon, please. Where are you guys going for your honeymoon?
So we're thinking about doing a cruise.
Nice.
So that way, like, we just pay for the boat and then like we all of our food and everything.
Drinks, everything. Yeah. I love it. Okay. I love how we probably talk about your wedding once every 3 episodes.
You know what? That's what my life is right now.
It's interesting. I like it. It's very interesting stuff to me. Hopefully for all our listeners out there, it is too.
Hopefully.
All right. Well, number of the day.
39.
Was that my number last week?
I don't know, but it's not a 4.
That's very good. You've been practicing in the mirror. My number's 77. Seems like a solid number. It's just a really solid number.
just a double digit.
It's a strong number. It doesn't feel like a number that can be hurt by anything.
I like how we're giving numbers personalities. Don't be a 1.
Yeah. Oh, definitely don't be an 8. 8s just get trashed on. Yeah. 77's good. 39's good too. Yeah. Okay. That's all for us today. We will be back next week with a special guest. He is an elite youth swimming coach.
Oh, wow.
Kind of an interesting persona to bring on the show, but he's going to talk to us about motivation, and I think that's going to be really, really neat for our listeners to hear, and hopefully take that with them as they go to their jobs.
I need it.
Yeah, me too. All right, guys, you know the drill. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe wherever you are listening to our podcast, YouTube or Spotify. If you are on Instagram, feel free to go ahead and drop us a like and a comment and a share. We will be back next week, and Ethan hit us with the outro music.